The whole issue of artificial intelligence and the impact on our workforce is one that so many people ask me about, and especially with automation happening at an ever-accelerating rate going like this. And I have a view that's really quite firm, and that is that even though we can automate particular functions or parts of jobs, that doesn't mean we should be getting rid of people. I believe that we're going to see a lot more artificial intelligence and machine learning and robots in a whole range of different industries, but in a lot of cases, the complete job itself is not going to go away. It's going to be a part of a job that goes away. It may be anywhere from just a few % of a person's daily work activities up to maybe 60%. And what we need to do is work with our people and our teams to help figure out what parts of a job are boring and repetitive and can be automated, let our people help guide us into that, and then use our human talent, our capital, our really value capital in people, and reskill and redeploy people. So you've got a lot of people who might be doing things like spreadsheets right now, and that part can be automated fairly easily with something called robotic process automation, but they know an awful lot about their business and they're absolute geniuses in different vertical markets. Why not actually have those people do more of the things that add value to your organization? I think this view that we're going to automate and get rid of staff and just, cut wages costs, through software, that's wrong, because if every company did that, then we'd end up in this Black Mirror society where we've got 30 or 50% of people unemployed, and then who was going to buy your products if that happens? So I think that companies need to have a view of responsibility to their staff and to society as a whole, and start looking at jobs of the future and how we start to redeploy capital and start thinking about the over-the-horizon way that society is going to change, and invest in reskilling and retraining and do it in conjunction with people. That to me is the most important thing that we'll need for our future. Emotional intelligence is another really interesting aspect to this whole conundrum of what does automation mean to companies. And it's not just emotional intelligence in terms of how you might deal with your staff, it's emotional intelligence of how you might deploy AI or machine learning software as a customer-facing service. So if you can imagine that you've got a virtual agent that's an AI talking to your customer, you want them to be treated in a very nice way, hopefully the same way that a human in your organization would treat them. And we have technologies that we can use to help train AIs for emotional cues. So emotion detection from facial expression is one of those cues. Listening to the words that I use in my speech is another cue. Listening to the cadence of my voice is another cue. But by itself, that's not going to give a machine emotional intelligence. We're going to need people that I'm calling empathy trainers to actually take those cues and help the AI learn how to behave in certain situations. And I think that people with a liberal arts background and behavioral sciences and psychology background and philosophy background are going to be a really important part of this transition to automation and into developing AIs that we're happy to have work alongside of us, not replace us.